Hey everyone, it's Connor here from H2 Group. So the intent of today's video is to talk about SmartTrace, and specifically a quick overview of SmartTrace monitoring and SmartTrace management, and maybe provide a little bit of clarity about what the difference between those two are and what it is. So SmartTrace is both a heat trace monitoring platform and a heat trace management platform. So it has management tools built in for facilities to use. So the monitoring piece is very straightforward. You have the ability with SmartTrace monitoring to monitor and control heat trace controllers as if you were standing directly in front of them. So it has the ability to give you alarms, to give you indication of what's happening on your heat tracing circuit, and to make configurations. But if anyone has ever worked on heat trace systems or been in a facility that schedules heat trace work orders, you know that just because you have monitoring capability, that it's still just not enough to help you maintain and operate your heat tracing. And that's where the management piece comes in. So SmartTrace management really takes all of that information on a heat trace monitoring system and just filters out all of the noise. So it does this by validating heat trace alarms and prioritizing things based on process equipment. And it's really, really important because we're going to remember that heat tracing is protecting process equipment, and we need to be managing that, not managing alarm counts. The other thing that SmartTrace management does is it ties into scheduling systems. So this is like SAP or Maximo, and it ties into this. And this is super important because we want to be able to provide facilities real visibility on what's happening on their heat trace system. But to do that, you need to know what's in your scheduling system. What have you already looked at, or what do you have in the queue to do field assessments or heat trace repairs? SmartTrace management also has some really, really cool tools that are able to track and manage heat trace force-ons, lockout tagouts, nuisance alarms. All of these are fantastic tools to filter out noise, but to give facilities proper visibility on what's happening on their heat trace system. And when you're able to pair SmartTrace monitoring with SmartTrace management, this is where all of the magic happens and where all the cost savings happen. So not only are we giving facilities and everybody within the facility proper visibility on what the heck is happening with their heat tracing, we're also able to dramatically reduce the amount of work that gets scheduled without compromising the operations of your facility, and we can dramatically reduce the power consumption and the carbon footprint that facilities have by just properly managing heat trace circuits. The last thing I want to talk about is the overall architecture of SmartTrace. So as I mentioned before, SmartTrace is a cloud-based software. And the power of this and the benefits are endless. But a couple of them is that anyone on your facility now has access to your heat tracing data. Operators, reliability engineers, maintenance managers, all now have visibility, clear, simple visibility on the health of their heat tracing. Operators now can monitor heat trace circuits from any device. So think intrinsically safe devices, or even just looking on their laptop or their computer in the office, now have the ability to see things. Typically, monitoring systems for facilities are located on one computer. A small group of people have access to that computer. The last thing I'll talk about the architecture of SmartTrace is the ease of installation. We have built this to be installed very, very easily. We use open source communication equipment. Oftentimes we're using existing communication equipment that facilities have, and implementation is extremely cost effective and extremely easy. For facilities with either remote locations or even remote facilities, we'll even leverage the use of radios or cellular technology to connect into SmartTrace. So endless ways to be able to get proper visibility and management of your heat tracing. So I hope that helped. I hope that if you're interested in optimizing your heat tracing, reducing the amount of costs associated with managing heat tracing, or reducing your overall CO2 footprint with your heat trace circuits, really encourage you to reach out, give us a call. Love to schedule a demo and go from there. So thank you all.